So sometimes we wore funny hats to say this scene we don't like. They don't like this one.
We just did this thing. That was when they were going to sue us for.
They walked in.
It all began long before the cameras rolled on Laverne and Shirley. Before the world knew the names Lenny and Squiggy, they were simply two young men, David Lander and Michael McKean, performing comedy sketches wherever they could find an audience. Their friendship started years earlier, rooted in shared humor and timing that felt almost telepathic. But destiny took its turn one night in Penny Marshall's living room. During a casual gathering of friends, actors, and creatives, Penny Marshall and her husband Rob Reiner were known for hosting lively parties filled with laughter and improvisation. That evening, among the chatter and clinking glasses, David and Michael began slipping into their now famous characters. With no script and no cue, they transformed into Lenny and Squiggy, two oddball men with strange voices and hilarious quirks. The guests couldn't stop laughing. Penny, watching from across the room, immediately recognized something special. She knew instantly that these two could bring a kind of energy television hadn't yet seen. At the time, Gary Marshall, Penny's brother, was creating a spin-off of Happy Days called Laverne and Shirley, starring Penny Marshall and Cindy Williams as two single women working at a Milwaukee brewery. The show needed humor that was raw, unpredictable, and genuine. Penny told Gary about the duo she had seen perform in her own home, and without hesitation, Gary agreed to meet them. When David Lander and Michael McKean stepped onto the set for the first time, they didn't audition, they simply performed. Within moments, the crew and cast were laughing uncontrollably. Originally, the characters were named Lenny and Anthony, but Gary thought there were already too many Italian names on the show. So Anthony became Andrew Squigman, affectionately called Squiggy. From that day on, Lenny and Squiggy became television icons. Their first appearance was legendary as Slow Door Creek, a pause, and Squiggy's unforgettable line, hello. The audience roared with laughter, and that one word became a signature moment in sitcom history. Gary Marshall understood exactly how to use them. He believed in comedy balance, that every character on a sitcom needed someone worse off to make the audience root for them. Laverne and Shirley were hard-working dreamers, and Lenny and Squiggy were the lovable disasters who reminded viewers that life didn't always have to make sense to be funny. Their timing, chaos, and physical humor created an instant spark on screen. The magic wasn't just in the writing, it was in their entrances. Every time the door opened, the crowd anticipated laughter. Cindy Williams once said, "By the time the door creaked, people were already laughing." Their comedic rhythm was perfect. They played off each other effortlessly, knowing exactly when to pause, when to deliver, and when to simply stand there in silence. That moment of suspense became their trademark, drawing the audience in before the first word was even spoken. Behind the laughter, however, was tremendous discipline. Penny Marshall often admitted that it was almost impossible to keep a straight face during their scenes. Sometimes, she said, "I bit my tongue so hard I thought it would bleed." Yet, she and Cindy Williams learned to balance the madness. They were the heart of the show, grounding the story while Lenny and Squiggy brought the chaos. The contrast made the show work. Even after Laverne and Shirley ended, the legacy of Lenny and Squiggy lived on. Michael McKean went on to star in This Is Spinal Tap and later in Better Call Saul, while David Lander continued acting and voice work, always carrying that comedic spark. Their friendship endured through decades, and when David passed away in 2020, Michael paid tribute to him as a nice man, a funny man, and my friend for 51 years. Their story is a reminder that true comedy often begins in the simplest places: a living room, a conversation, or an unplanned joke. What started as a spontaneous moment between two friends became a timeless piece of television history. Lenny and Squiggy were never meant to be the stars, but their charm, timing, and warmth made them unforgettable. Even today, when that door creaks open and you hear that familiar word, hello, the laughter still echoes across generations.